Hello YouTube, Gary here. I'm going to show you today how to merge the SkySpirit 767 model, SkySpirit 2010 model, with the Level D 767 panel and virtual cockpit, which is a really cool combination. So stay tuned and we'll get it done. Alright, first thing you're going to want to do is go to AvSim. You can search my name. I have Delta, United, Malev, a few different airlines on there of the SkySpirit paints. And what I've done is I have basically combined an entire aircraft. Instead of it being just textures, the whole aircraft is there. So once you get that downloaded, I downloaded the Delta paint from AvSim. Unzip the file and you will get a folder just like this. Make this a little smaller here. Inside here is the zip file, and inside the zip file you have the aircraft folder and the effects. It's standard standard install instructions for any of the SkySpirit aircraft. Basically, what you're going to do is you're going to copy the effects to the effects folder inside of your main FSX directory, and the aircraft will go in the aircraft folder. This is how I name mine, and basically that is a default SkySpirit airplane with the default panel, as you can see there. So now we want to add our Level D 767 panel to this. So let me show you how you do it. First things first, make a copy of your panel config. Let's make a copy there because we're going to overwrite that when we move over the other files. The model file we're going to leave just like that. Leave everything the same. We're going to delete we're going to delete the air file because we're going to be using the Level D one, and we are going to make a copy of the aircraft config because we're going to use some parts of it, but most of it will be the Level D aircraft config. Alright, now open up your FSX folder and navigate to where you have the Level D 767 installed. And it doesn't matter, winglets, whatever, it doesn't matter. If you're going to be using a winglet plane, 767, use the winglet aircraft config because the air file is made for it. So we're going to grab the aircraft config and the B767-300 air file. We're going to copy those over and overwrite. Now go to your model folder, open the model folder of any one of these, it doesn't matter, and you're going to grab the 767-300 interior model. That is your virtual cockpit. You're going to bring that over and copy it there. Also, go ahead and open the model config on the Level D, and you're just going to copy this line here, interior. You're going to copy that. You're going to open the model config on the SkySpirit model, and you're going to put it in right there. Go ahead and save that file. Model folder is complete. Next is sounds. We're not going to worry about sounds. I'll show you how to do it, but it's basic. You can just copy the sound config from your Level D plane. Textures we're not going to worry about. Actually, we will, but anyways. Go ahead and knock out the panel first. Go into your panel folder of the Level D. For that one, we do have to go to the main Level D non-winglet version. Go to your panel folder. I have downloaded from the Level D forum. I do recommend this. However, it is not supported. This file is not supported by Level D in any way, shape, or form, nor is this merge. So do all of this at your own risk. Let me resize this so it'll fit my recording window here. There we go. It's running a little wonky because of the recorder is going. So we go into Level D forums, member downloads, and you're going to want to grab this widescreen panel mod. FSX version right there. What that'll do is give you some files. It has its own README. Go ahead and read it and install it. And what that'll do is that'll give you a different panel config and a few extra bitmaps. Anyways, said all that to say this. Going to go ahead and select all of these. I'm going to copy these over to the SkySpirit panel folder. Just copy, do not move. Overwrite. There we go. Now, minimize the level D one. Open the panel config. This is from level D. This is the one we just had. And we're also going to open, let's make this like this so we can fit them both on here. Open the panel config for the SkySpirit, the copy that we made earlier. And minimize that. What we are going to do is we're going to copy the needed parts from the SkySpirit model so that your wing flex, your lights and things like that will work, your doors will open and all that, and copy it over to work with the level D panel. First thing we're going to do is we're going to grab these bottom two here. This is your debug and SkySpirit utility. Copy those, go over to your level D and paste them in under window 10. It should be window 10. And you're just going to number in sequential order. Number 11, number 12. Now, our last window here is number 10. So we're going to scroll down to number 10. It should be the last one before the virtual cockpit sections. Enter a few times, give us some space to work. And we're going to scroll this one down as well. Here we are. This is your Windows 6 and 7 from this one. So I'm going to copy these sections here. You're going to paste them in here. Now we got to also change the number. Remember it was Windows 11 and 12. 11 here, 12 there. Don't change anything else. Leave it just like that. Now, I believe we are done. No, I'm sorry. We do have to add. To make a few more things where we have to grab this virtual cockpit section here. So go to the bottom of your virtual cockpits for level D. Enter a few times again. We're going to copy this virtual cockpit 3 from the SkySpirit and paste it into the level D. We already have a 3, so we got to make this one virtual cockpit 4. So that is all copied over. So we are done. We're going to save this, close it, and open back here. Now we are done with this panel config, so you can go ahead and delete it because we have already created our new one using the level D, and we just added the needed parts. So you're not going to change anything in these folders. It will all stay the same. Why did that do that? These will all stay the same, but we do make sure you copied everything over. I have these extra ones in here. You don't need those. Those just was back when I was tweaking a few things. Okay, back out to the aircraft folder. So we've done model, we've done panel, we're done with sound. Open your texture folder of your SkySpirit model. What we have to do is we have to grab the virtual cockpit textures from level D. So go back out to level D. Go to the pane of your choice, whatever. I'll use one of my newest ones. Actually, I'll go back to my winglets. One of my newer ones, Hawaiian. Yeah, we'll use Hawaiian. And we're going to grab the virtual cockpit. Of course they're not there. Gotta find the virtual cockpit textures. They're probably going to be in the base here. Here they are. Okay. Everything you see has LVLD B6. These are virtual cockpit textures, so we're going to grab every one of these. There should be 27 of them. I'm going to copy those over to the texture folder of whatever paint you have downloaded. That has to be in every one of them because we're not using texture configs. Then you're going to grab overhead background L, and system off, and then the CRT LT DDS file. and just double check that you have everything. Yes, 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 yes. Yes. Okay. And we'll go ahead and copy those over as well. So all in all, you should have copied 27 plus 1, 2, 3, 4 files. So 31 files. Yeah, if I did my math correct. I got an A. Now, the last thing we got to do is we got to edit the aircraft config. This can be the trickiest part. We'll open up both the copy here is the SkySpirit, as you can see from the title. We're going to be pasting it into our level D. Now with the level D, we just leave the one flight sim section in here, and we can get rid of the rest of these. So just go to the bottom of them, and be wary, because level D, when you add through the repaint manager, it likes to put them at the flight sims at the bottom too, as you can see right here. So let's go ahead and grab these. Make sure we got them all. There we go. Good. So they're all gone. So we are ready to port over what we have. So you have to leave this in here, level D simulations. What that does is it somehow is tied to the panel. I don't know how, but that's the way it works. So leave this line in here. Do not change that. You can leave it 767-300ER, and I put SS for SkySpirit so I can tell the difference. And then Delta, new colors. Sim is your airfile name. We'll leave that alone. Model is going to be the name of the model folder of the SkySpirit, which in here, this is a winglet model. It has no name. So, depending on what yours says, it could say GE or whatever. I have one in my main folder that says winglet, or WL and no WL. Either way, this one will be blank. Panel is panel. Sound is sound, because we don't have any special sound. This is going to be your texture folder, so we'll copy that from the SkySpirit. Now, I like to have a nice neat little area like this. So go ahead and get rid of the ATC and UI versions out of the level D one. Just delete those out and just copy these over from the SkySpirit. If I can get my mouse to work. Yes, much better. Okay, so when we have this loaded up in the sim, they will be listed under Boeing. I actually make mine SkySpirit. Be commercial airliner category, top row and top 767-300, and here is our paint version. Delta Airlines, new colors. You can change the description if you want to. I would just leave it alone. The less you change, the less chance you have of something going wrong. Now, go to your SkySpirit aircraft config, scroll down, and what we are looking for is the weight and balance. Or, I'm sorry. No, not weight and balance. We are looking for contact points. I could not say it. It was on the tip of my tongue. Contact points. You're going to start where the brackets are for contact points, and you're going to copy all the way down to max number of points. You're going to Control C, copy that. Now you go to your contact points in the level D one here. Yeah, contact points, okay. I'm going to paste them right over top of this. There we go. That will make your SkySpirit plane set level. And effects. We're going to copy the effects. Paste those over top of the level D effects. Oh, that's right. The level D does not have effects. That's because I'm stupid and I forgot that. So you can just put it in anywhere. I usually do it around the light section. Makes it a lot easier. Now, light section, speaking of, copy the light section from the SkySpirit model and paste it over the lights section of the level D model. Like that. Going to go down to our tail hook and folding wings. Copy those. and paste it over the tail hook and folding wings of the level D config. Grab your exits, copy those, put it over the exits there. If you go to the SkySpirit page on Facebook, they have actual exits that'll make it work with the default FSX jetways. I have it on my other one, I just don't have it on this one. This is before I've figured all that out. Okay, now I think we are that. Okay, so we're done with that. So all we copied over was the flight sim information for the top. We copied over, so you'll remember this when you're doing it yourself, the contact points. That is the most important thing, the contact points. Everything else you'll realize when you open it up that something isn't right. Tail hook, folding wing, exits, lights, and added the effects. And that's it. So go ahead and save that. We're done with that. And we can get rid of that. There. Let's double check that it does say 767. It does. Okay, good. So that is it. So you have your model. What this is doing here is adding the virtual cockpit model itself to your model, to your SkySpirit. In the panel folder, we added the level D panel and added in the SkySpirit needed parts and sections on the config. The texture, we added the virtual cockpit textures from your favorite level D. I used the Andre's virtual cockpit modification textures. CRT LT, you have to have this file, and don't forget the overhead backgrounds and system off. Overhead backgrounds, otherwise when you open your model, the overhead will be just a gray texture, and you'll know that you forgot those textures. Then you modified your aircraft config and copied over the air file, and that is all. That is how you get, and you just copy this to your aircraft folder, so that when you open Flight Sim, you will have it in the sim itself. So I'll stop this recording, and when we come back, I will show you what it looks like in the sim. Alright, as you can see, I have the SkySpirit plane loaded. It loaded, my default is into the virtual cockpit, and it is all here, including the overhead. Like I said, if you didn't copy those overhead textures, it'll just be a blank texture here. There won't be anything here except for these knobs. And when that happens, you'll know what you did, and you can just go back and fix it. If you'll Shift A, if you don't start in a virtual cockpit, this is the 2D panel. It is all loaded. It is all working. The flaps, everything works. Everything works beautifully. We'll go to the exterior, and as you can see, works perfect. So everything is loaded, and at nighttime you'll have light reflections off the ground. So it's a much more superior model to the Level D, because quite frankly it was made about 7 years after the Level D. Speaking of Level D, it will be 10 years old. 10 years old at the end of this February. So congratulations to those guys for being around 10 years. We're all still looking for a 757. I'm still looking for a 757, and I beta test with the guys. In fact, I did most of the overhead work for this model. So, hey, keep your fingers crossed. Maybe one of these days we'll send 757. It does exist. I promise you it does exist. It's just moving very slowly. It takes 10 years to make something great. Who knows? But anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed the video, and give me a thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you hated it. Shoot me a comment if you'd like to see any more merges. I can try some more. I have several add-ons, so just let me know. And until then, see you later.